Whoopsie. Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your healing after a toxic relationship reading. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it certainly could resonate in other relationships or situationships in your life. This could be your person's moon rising or Venus sign, or it could be your moon rising or Venus sign also. All right, Taurus. All right, Taurus. All right, we've got Chariot there. That could be Cancerian. Two of Cups. Knight of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. This could be Leo. Knight of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. All right. So also just as a PSA or just as an awareness, we're all in a pandemic here. So the whole idea of self-care is extra promising because we do have the time. Most of us, if we're not essential workers or first responders, thank you for your service. We are at home. So a lot more time to think about things and to kind of get our affairs in order, ideally speaking, right? All right, what's this Two of Cups here? What's this Two of Cups? Four of Wands. This Knight of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. It's this Wheel of Fortune. Okay. What's this Wheel of Fortune about? Ooh, the World. Okay. What's this Knight of Pentacles? This could be Taurus, by the way. The Tower, that could be Scorpio. All right, what's this Five of Pentacles? Okay, so here's the thing. Your person, this Five of Pentacles, your person never had it in them to commit. And it's not like you're going to forgive and take them back anyway. But this is somebody that never had it in them to commit. They were always just out of reach. They would be the type maybe to hold a grudge and not let go of something and move on. It's almost like they were looking for something to blame so that they could be absolved of having to make a commitment or to forgive or to be vulnerable and grow with someone. This is someone that was always kind of nebulous about their commitments. They were always looking for the next best thing. They never really committed to anything and they never really let go of anything. This is somebody that just kind of was really wishy-washy about things. But they always kind of kept their own interests first and foremost, as everybody does, right? But for you being communal minded, you perhaps were still thinking that this person might come around, especially if you have kids involved, and this person simply doesn't have it to give. And this is not about you keeping the door open for them and holding that maybe they'll grow up, or maybe this is someone that's going to waste your time and resources And this was not about you to fix. This was someone that didn't have it to give in the first place. This is not someone that wants commitment. This is not someone that wants anything other than what they want, when they want it, how they want it. So you kind of never had a chance, and I don't mean any disrespect to cross watchers, but this is someone that you might have hoped for a lot more with and thought if it was just a time thing. It wasn't. You might have been led to believe that, oh, I've got a lot going on right now. I need to handle this. I need to pursue this. I need to do that. But in reality, this is someone that could very well have gotten their heart broken a long time ago and is just not ready to move forward with anybody after that. They're still kind of carrying a torch for someone in their past. So this is not anybody that is really going to let anybody else in. If it's not that, it's simply somebody that just doesn't really want commitment. They like things how they like it, and they don't want to change, and they don't want commitment. And they might say one thing, like that's a bummer if they led you to believe that, oh, in time, because no. The closer it got to in time, and for the Tauruses I'm reading for, you're like, I'll give you that allowance for a while, but then after a while, we got to get on the same page here. What's going on? What's going on? When the what's going on question started, that's when they were like, no. So, and then that's when the blaming starts. That's when the backing off and the kind of ghosting and the fading starts, and someone wanting to just kind of see how it goes, and I'm really busy, I'll call you in a couple months, or I'll text you this and that. What? No. What's this Ace of Cups for Taurus? Chariot. Going after what you want, figuring out what you want in a relationship and pursuing it, because this is not it. This is someone that never really starts anything. Or if they do, then they kind of slowly start to back off to where they're hoping it has momentum of its own and it's going to carry them, and they really don't have to participate or do anything. They can just be along for the ride because, I want to keep things fluid in my life right now. What does that mean? What are we? Am I a sprinkler? Like what? So this is, sorry. Getting some water. This is about you not waiting anymore. Now, to be fair, Ronageddon, right? We're all sequestered, so you've got a lot of time to think about this. But there's a difference between thinking about something and waiting for someone. No more waiting for this person to give you what you need. They're not going to. This is someone who's looking out for number one and doing their own thing. And she or he has got designs on what they want, and it has them in the first row. Beyond that, they don't know. This could be somebody younger that's still creating their life and kind of creating their future. But they want to keep things fluid and open, and they don't want committed partnership. And so knowing that, it is a very simple thing for you to, I shouldn't say simple, that's what this comes down to. It's not anything you did. This person simply doesn't want commitment. They don't want the obligation. They'd much rather things be fluid and open. And the thing about this type of personality you're dealing with, Taurus, is the more you try to box them in or lock them down or say, well, you said and this and that, they're going to come out swinging. This is someone that will not be obligated or controlled or made to feel guilty. They'll come out swinging. So it is best for you to disengage, disconnect, and not deal with that anymore, and do not blame yourself. because this isn't something that you could have waited for or given them enough space or been more understanding about. You did all those things. If they wanted this connection, they would have made it happen. They had plenty of time, plenty of inclination, plenty of everything, physical connection included, and they didn't. And they're not going to. So this is you accepting that it wasn't you, it wasn't your fault, it wasn't that you weren't enough or that you didn't do enough, and stopping the communication as much as you can. Some of you have kids. But as far as anything being about you two reconciling or the I'm sorries or the being patient, being open, that's not this. This doesn't deserve that from you. This deserves your attention on yourself, moving forward, doing what you want to do. Focusing on what you want in a love relationship, focusing on self-love, because we got plenty of time to do it, unless you're a first responder, and figuring out what you want in your next partnership. Consider too that you might be, for some of the Tauruses I'm reading for, you might be doing a lot for your person in the name of preserving this, thinking that that's what love is. But really what you're doing is just making it okay for someone to be there. Because if you weren't able to provide this constant communal shaping of each, kind of surrounding this person all the time, scheduling their car appointments and doing this for them and scheduling their, and getting her shopping or whatever, all of that. If you weren't able to make it so okay for the person to be there, they'd go find somebody else who would. So you've made a very nice place for this person to land. But if you stopped doing that for them and started focusing on yourself for self-care, they wouldn't stick around because it's not about them anymore. They would not do the same for you. You need to find somebody that will do this, not need to find. But when you're ready, this is about making sure that you're coming from a place of strong self-investment and self-care so that the person you're with knows that that's what you expect of your partner to provide for that, because you're going to give it to them. You're going to be very attentive and caring and do for them and be generous and make sure that they're taken care of. You're going to want the same thing, and you're setting an example for that when you carve out time for yourself, when you have boundaries, when you do self-care. When they see that, oh, this is somebody that takes care of themselves. This is someone that's got their life on lock. Not to be confused with, ooh, somebody's got their stuff together. They're going to get me my stuff together too. That's where the boundaries come in. Because the minute you see somebody needs you to do their life for them or make it okay for them to be there, that's when you swipe right or block or whatever and not. Because that's your life. You made it that way. You're not in the business of rehabbing people. If somebody is of the same mind and can walk next to you and is a good partner because they too lead a life like that, ideally, right? That's a unicorn, but still, then okay. But just because your life is together doesn't mean these broken birds get to show up when you fix them. That's codependency. And you are like that, but you got away from it. And you thought this person would not, I shouldn't say you got away from it. You thought this person was on board with it. And then when you realize that, hey, I'm doing a lot of this providing, I'm doing a lot of this making it nice for both of us. What is this person doing? And they're like, well, I think I'm going to go because I don't want the responsibility or obligation. And you're like, wait, what? What have you been doing this whole time? Well, it was fun. That's why I was here. It was fun. So now that it's down to the nitty gritty and we're talking about an us, not just having a good time together and things being fun, now that we're starting to get to the us stage, you want to move on? Yeah, I'm not ready for that. So, no more making it okay for somebody to land because you are afraid that, or no more wanting to, I don't want to say lock it in a hurry, but this is about you, all of that taking care of you did for somebody else, you do that for you, as we all should. But going forward, this is about you starting to carve out time for yourself, getting in the habit of that, resting, getting back to being able to do that, closing the door on the chance that this person will come around, this person will have some kind of breakthrough and realize that Taurus is it. No, that train has sailed, that ship has sailed, because they had plenty of time. They could have given back what you were giving this whole time. So this is about you. How do you heal from it? You take all of that care that you were giving towards that person and making it nice for them to be there and to show up, and you start doing that for you. Maybe it's sleeping in. Maybe it's, making yourself a whole, tray of muffins or cookies or something, or meditation, baths, yoga, walks, because this is all solitary stuff, right? Because we're sequestered anyway. But slowing things down and focusing on self-care, well-being, and wellness for you. Getting into the habit of that, making that practice, and then you're going to be attracting someone that supports you doing that for yourself, that respects your boundaries, that likes that you take care of yourself, because that means it's less for them to clean up and take care of, let's be honest. You're going to be attracting people that want to be around someone like you who keeps their business tight, who keeps themselves drama-free and together. Not because they want you to do that for them, because you'll be able to spot that real quick. Like, oh, wow, this person's kind of parasitic. But someone who also has their business together. What else for Taurus? Queen of Swords. That could be Libra. Yeah, enough of this. Good chemistry, good physical chemistry with this person does not a relationship partner make. That might just be somebody that you had good physical chemistry with. It doesn't mean it leads to a relationship, especially if they're just on the take. So this is about you deciding for yourself, about being in charge of your decisions, about being pretty clear-headed about needing to disconnect from this and start moving towards what you want, self-care, self-love, figuring out what you want. Obviously, when I say moving towards, I mean designing and thinking and manifesting, because Ronageddon, right? We're all sequestered. But cutting this off and starting to create space for yourself right now, self-care, setting the stage for someone to come in and be in support of this self-care, be on the same page, moving forward with you. And you setting the stage right now and getting those boundaries up and starting that practice of self-care and well-being. When I first started saying that, I felt kind of weird, because it's like, oh, self-care. It's like, every day's a spa day and whatever. For some people it can be, right? But it sounds so indulgent. And yet it shouldn't be. There should be at some point in the day where we can do something nice for ourselves. That we can have just that little bit of time just for us. A walk, maybe just sitting quietly and thinking or reading something that we want to read about for 10 minutes, or just something that we do for ourselves. It shouldn't have gotten to this point to where we, or at least I feel kind of sheepish going, well, See if you can concentrate on what you want to concentrate on for a while. When did that not be a thing, not become a thing? When was it selfish to do that? How did that happen? You know? But I guess we got the reset, certainly. Anyway, this is about you really disconnecting from this person so that they can't take from you anymore. And that effort goes to you now. Once you're once you're done, you're done. And here's the thing: this is Six of Pentacles. It could be that they had this epiphany, and all of a sudden they're wanting to come back. And I'm sorry, it's too late. I vote for it being too late. Because this has to be seen over time. This could be just words. This needs action over time. And it could be that you've been here before with this person. And this is kind of the idea of doing that, of making things right, of balancing the scales. But it takes action behind it. It takes you both being on the same page and movement. And kind of championing a cause, and that takes consistent action over time, over a period of weeks and months, not just like an apology or, when we come out of this, I really want to do this and that. Please make them prove it. Please don't believe them. Please do your own thing right now. And then when we do come out of this, maybe you won't care what they have to say, because you'll be so into your daily stuff and what you do for yourself and realize how much further away you are from somebody who just kind of wants to see if we can just chill and do whatever, which is code for, hey, are you up? No. This is nice, but let it go. This is nice, appreciate it, but that you're gonna be so into what you're doing for you that it's really gonna reshape how you see this person and their lack of contribution or what you two had when you come out of this. This is about you letting it go and moving forward because you've got bigger and better to move towards. It's funny because this isn't a movement and this is movement, but not on the same page. This is very self-focused, and this is you wanting to, this is someone with kind of both perspectives in mind, a very full plate, very full life, a lot going on, able to handle a lot, kind of coming full circle with things and deciding which direction to go with all that information. And how I'm going to take all of this information and all this stuff going on in my life, and I'm going to steer it, and I'm going to get everybody on the same page, and I'm going to be driving that bus. That's what this is. This is someone's like, okay, yeah, I'll catch up with you later. So, yeah, you just, everybody all aboard. You do you right now. That's how you heal from this. You disconnect and you focus on you. All right, Taurus, thank you for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. I talked a lot. Okay, all right. I hope to see you in the next reading. Love and support to you. And you just go to town with this self-care and this well-being and wellness. Take advantage of this time. All right. Okay. I hope to see you in the next reading. Love and support to you. You take care.